I'm sorry. I feel like I would lose my mind.
It's fun. I'm all up in the numbers,
Yeah.
so I guess that's exciting for me to see.
Yeah. How are we doing?
It's funny. The newest podcast episode out now. Also, hey, all of people. I'm Khalil. This is Ali. Today we're talking about nostalgia.
We're
catching up.
It.
We will get there. Honestly, we're doing good. So this last podcast episode we released, I was like, oh my god, we're at like 300 something followers, and you were like, oh my god, really? That's so good. And now we're like at 1,000 more than that.
It's insane. You guys showed up.
Yeah, please like and subscribe while you're here, though.
Yeah.
That's helpful. Rate the podcast.
Halloumi says rate and subscribe.
Oh, that's the prettiest Halumi's looked on the podcast.
It is. She's usually such a little stinker. There we go. That's good.
I think we have our audio issues fixed. Mainly my issue. I was just being silenced.
Were you silent or were you silent?
Also, sometimes I'm like, I don't even make sense. Like, my sense of reality is so different from what actually happens. Sometimes I'm like, whoa, this bitch talks fast and makes no sense. It doesn't articulate. I mean, like, you noticed how you were saying like a bunch, which I didn't even notice until you made a comment.
Yeah.
Not like, that you're doing all the time, but
yeah. I was listening to myself and I was like, I mean, that's bound to happen. We're bound to pick up like things that we're like, wow, we really should die.
But yeah, no, full on. I was like, whoa, I have undiagnosed ADHD. Like that, it makes there's one episode where I was literally rocking back and forth, biting my lip. I literally looked like a meth head.
But see, the good thing is I never noticed that. Which means if I don't notice that, other people won't.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, no, honestly, all the feedback is so positive. I think, I don't know, you should check your message requests because I got this. Did you get a message request from someone insane?
Not yet.
It's never been any Zionists, alhamdulillah. It's just been Muslims.
Interesting. I have not yet gotten that. I've actually gotten like a couple of like sweet ones, like the ones that you pointed out as well, which honestly we welcome those anytime. But yeah, I haven't gotten insane Muslim ones. Like what?
I think maybe I usually just delete and block them, or I'll say a couple things just to entertain myself and block them.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much just like, oh, you glorify sin. This guy was weird because he was also like, this is why your nephews or whatever are getting blown up. And I was like, girl, what are you even fucking talking about?
Oh my god. That is
audacity. Like, well, I don't know. The more I think about it and the more my stance is like, people who are, no one deserves murder. No one deserves to be murdered. But Zionism and homophobia are literally the same thing.
Yeah. It's hate. It's a kind of fascist.
When you're a fucking hateful bitch for no reason, like you just have to draw on the same things. Like you could literally, like okay, so recently, also this funny, the last podcast episode, I had a positive story to tell about my brother. This podcast episode, if you're watching this, fuck you. He fucking sucks. He's useless. And I hope all his kids are queer and trans. But anyway, where is I going with this?
Story about your brother.
But why?
Because you said you had a positive story before, now you have a bad one. And it's because you were talking about fashion. You were talking about Zionism and homophobia.
So I was talking to my brother. I was like, we were discussing something that I don't want to discuss on the podcast. Well, I guess I'll just have to bleep it up. But I was talking about him up to blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh yeah, like, I could use some help, blah, blah, blah. Like, maybe you can like be the conduit to tell mom and dad what's going on. Something. Yeah. Fucking something.
Yeah, help.
How, like, your brother literally did this amazing achievement and like now has this whole thing to do. Like, fucking offer something. And instead we just have a conversation about how he feels bad about how my mom and dad reacted in terms of me being gay. And I'm like, you literally just sound like a liberal Zionist where you're like, Israelis have it hard as well, and we should acknowledge that. It's like, fuck you, I'm the victim. I'm the only victim. Like, their tears literally do not matter. Like, they have all the money, they have all the emotional support, they have all the connections. Like, they could literally go sit on a fucking spike.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
I feel like similarly, my sister, I feel like is in a similar boat to your brother.
Does your sister listen to this podcast?
No.
Oh.
Does your brother?
Probably not.
Okay.
Definitely not.
Yeah, my sister definitely doesn't. No, definitely doesn't. But I feel like I learned to empathize with one thing about the heterosexual sibling struggle, which is when the cookies crumble, we don't get to see it happen. Like us as the people who are the victims, like you said, we get to leave. They get to deal with what's left over, which I will say can be shitty. Like my
But they can
parents can be
also
shitty.
leave.
They can also leave.
The thing is, if we were a union, like actual real life workers union, and we all went on strike, they would have to change. Like if my siblings banded together and said, you know what? No, we're boycotting you guys here at home. This is fucked up.
Yeah.
Then there would be a more of a negotiation. But instead, they're fucking cowards. And they themselves are a little bit homophobic. And they're like, well, I don't want to stir the pot because how does that help me? It's just causing stress for our parents. It's like, no, you're a fucking coward.
I will say I don't see it as full cowardice. I just see it as pragmatic in their way. Like in their way, they
Well,
don't
take pragmatism and apply it to Palestine and tell me if that's acceptable to you.
لا صح معك حق. I see the analogy you're making. I just think that if I was our siblings, I would do what our siblings are doing. Like if I'm being real, if I have to like look in the mirror and say, what would I do if I was the straight one? I would help as much as I can, which my sister does do, and your brother does in a way by, in his own way, being supportive and communicating with you and talking. Not in the way that we would like. I think in both of our cases, not in the way we would like. Like we would want a little more and they're not giving it to us. I just don't think, I think we gotta like forgive them for their flaws on this.
I disagree. I think I'd stand up. I don't know. The more I'm growing up, I'm just like, wow, the way my parents reacted to children was just so fucking weird. Like, I'm sure, no, like most adults are weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would be like as a heterosexual, but I don't think I'd be that as fucking weird as like most people are. I don't know.
Right. No, that's fair.
I don't know. I can't imagine a different reality where it'd be like, it's just kind of insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like if I had a sibling that just wasn't there anymore and we just like didn't talk about for like years, I'd be like, I think I would say something a couple times and be like, this is fucking weird.
That's you're right about that, especially. Can I change the subject?
Yes.
Only because it's on my mind and I want to talk about it. I've had a wonderful week. Amazing week, actually, with my cousins.
I just need to say I've had the polar opposite, I think.
It's so funny how it does feel like when we show up to the episode, we've had like you said one time you were like, either one of us looks like a hobo and one of us dresses well. I feel like similarly, one of us has like good things to say and another one has like, you know what I mean? Like we come in with like, my week was shit. Like that week I had a dentist. Remember that was a horrible. Anyway.
And I was about to go to Colombia. I was so much happier then.
Exactly. But no, my cousins being here, I was a little nervous. I was like, they're going to take up space. It's going to be hard. But honestly, it was so much fun. And it's the perfect balance because one of them is like very neurodivergent, like in a homebody, never wanted to leave. And then the other one was like, go, go, go. Let's go out. Let's go out. Let's go out. So it was the perfect balance where I could like literally go between either of them, you know, and just do whatever they're doing. And
you had like a buffet of socialization.
Literally. And I had so much good food. Yeah, it was a good time. And then we ended it on Laylit the last night and they got to see me DJ, which honestly felt so special having family be there. So that was nice. If you're in New York, next DJ gig, June 13th. Also like
contrasting experiences.
Yeah, indeed. No. Well, it's I guess to make you feel better, I did have a horrible experience yesterday. My temporary crown popped out. If you guys follow the pod, you know about my dentist journey, so I'm not going to recap. Watch the other episodes. But my temporary crown popped out, and I went to the dentist, and they tried to put in a new one for me, and it popped out as she was adjusting it, and it lodged itself in my throat. Like it literally, because you know how the table is like bent back and your head is tilted back. So this bitch was like trying to listen, I literally shove her hand away, jump out of the chair and start jumping up and down, coughing, and then it projectiles out of my throat. And then I lay back down on the chair and I'm crying. Like literally tears are coming down my face. And the dentist and the technician were both like, let's take a moment. And we literally just sat in silence for a whole minute. I had my eyes closed. And then they're like, let's let's do this again. I already have so much anxiety about dentists. I didn't realize my life was on the line. I didn't realize I could actually die. I thought it was just pain. I swear I was like my fight or flight. I was like panicking. But alhamdulillah, that went well. Otherwise, yesterday was a great day. I did absolutely nothing, which was
Not gonna lie, if I got the news that you died, God forbid, like yesterday, I would have been like, wow, that makes sense for my week. That my pod to end it off, my podcast partner dies.
That's so funny. Death by dentist. That's the best part. Like, I don't know. I would hope. Oh wait, actually, I would hope that if I died on the dental chair, you as a friend would sue them on my behalf as a future bleep.
I don't think I have any like standing to do that. I'm not even. I. Why would? How? Why? What are my damages?
Okay, help John suing them.
But I think because you and John aren't married, John has no.
He can't
nothing.
sue.
I think because it's like the government doesn't recognize your union in any way.
Really?
John is legally. I could if there's a legal expert in the watching, comment below. But I'm pretty sure if you don't have a common law or any kind of marriage,
So annoying.
you and John might as well be strangers.
Really?
Maybe your parents could sue. I could try to reach out to them.
Yeah. Send them the podcast. Be like, this is your son.
Hey. As he lived a whole memory. Well, I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of cute, I guess. Maybe they would enjoy that.
They would
Let's not talk about your death, though.
Okay,
We need to explore that.
yeah.
I had a shitty week of, I think, post-vacation blues. Like, I just came back from vacation to my shitty day-to-day. It's not shitty. It's fine. I was just in a, I'm kind of serving face right now. I was in a good spot in having a vacation. Vacation is just like an amazing bubble. I feel like I was able to be away from my phone and all the horrible news and not have to deal with work and not have to think about all the things I have to do. And now that I'm back to the things that I have to do, I'm just like, oh my God, I've just fucking, like, my family's become more of an issue. I feel like this week, specifically found out things about well, first of all, my brother, my sister got married. I was not invited to the wedding. She's fully like married, whatever, has a whole different life. No idea about it.
Whoa.
My brother find out he's engaged and getting married. And then I was like, oh, am I invited to the wedding? And pretty much the response I got was no. And then I was like, okay, well, like, fuck this.
Whoa. No.
So I'm just like back in my loner era. I'm just like, wow, I mean, I do have friends and I can be helpful, but friends only go so far in capitalism.
I think also it's the fact that change is coming. Like, I feel like forces you to confront things and deal with things in a way that being in the same place that you are allows you to just go about your day to day. In general, change is not easy. So you're going to have to like figure out all this new stuff and then also confront, like you have to close this chapter of your life. And doing that means you're gonna have to do a lot of painful things of like figuring stuff out and like confrontation with people. And yeah, it's not easy.
But it's also exciting. I'm just kind of like, I'm in a state of, I'm honestly, I feel like if I had to pick a state, I would say I'm depressed.
It's okay. Okay. Well, I guess I hopefully will balance you out by saying I am feeling very undepressed. I hope that helps.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does.
No, but I get you. I've been there, honestly, like, especially after a good trip, for you to get all these lows right after. It's kind of like coming down from Molly and being told you like failed your driver's test the next day.
Literally, yeah. It's just like, oh my God.
Yeah. What a drag.
It's fine though. I'll be fine. There's
Well,
exciting things coming. I just like, yeah, all doing all the things is
and
just
yeah. And you're a
weighing on
resilient,
me.
you're a resilient bitch, so I'm not worried.
I'm just tired. I get tired. Resilient bitches get tired.
They do.
It's like
Capricorns get
that.
tired too.
Oh, Capricorns are resilient too.
I think so. Because you're stubborn.
Okay. I'm not a Capricorn. I'm a Sagittarius.
Oh, I meant Sagittarius. I meant Sagittarius. Sagittariuses
Sagittarius sisters.
are very, wait, what was the thing I said?
Resilient.
Very, Sagittariuses are very resilient. There you go.
Should we talk about nostalgia?
Yes. So the reason why I thought about this is because John and I had just had the conversation. I feel like him and I are opposites. I'm not a nostalgic bitch. I feel like you might be similar to me because our nostalgia doesn't exist. We don't reminisce about our times as children, do we? Like, I don't think you know what I mean? Like, there's John, for example, if he sees a movie he watched as a kid, will like tear up or like feel emotional because he misses those days and misses what it was like being, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, I can't relate because I'm so much happier now.
It's yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I miss living rent free, but I miss nothing else. Like I don't even miss living rent free because it was like living in prison.
Exactly. Exactly. So like,
It's like I guess I don't have nostalgia. I have complex PTSD.
yeah. No, literally, I don't think like even like
Oh my
you.
God.
I know you're like uncovering things about your psyche, but
Well,
even
because sometimes I will hear my dad's voice like screaming in my head randomly.
I
And I
do
think it's
too.
part of PTSD.
I do too. No, literally, I do too. Actually, yesterday I was on the phone with my dad, and now in his older years, I just kind of like humor him, but he was telling me what to do. And I was just like, yeah, yeah. And like literally, I'm moving to a city that's a driving city. And I told him
Yeah.
this. I'm like, oh yeah, where I'm going, like it's a driving city. He's like, you have to buy a car, by the way. You have to, like telling me obvious shit that I'm obviously doing. And I'm like, wow, this is such a throwback because he used to
Oh
like,
my God, we're both buying cars at the same time.
yes, we're both gonna, do you drive?
What are you hoping to get? Yeah, I have my license. I grew up in a driving city.
Oh, right. You did.
Do
Yeah,
you not have your license?
I do. I just haven't driven in so long. Well, it's only been
It's
a
fine
year.
though. It'll be easy.
Yeah, I'm a bad driver though. I, I'm a bad driver. I totaled my car one time and it was fully my fault. I almost died.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
What did you do?
So I was literally like vibing to music and I was driving to work and the view was so lovely and it was a highway.
Such a dumb faggot.
It was I look, imagine this, a highway in Massachusetts. It was a beautiful spring day. The clouds were clouding. I was listening to Billy Martin. I actually was listening to Billy Martin, like my favorite artist. And I was
She
fully,
claimed she saved your life too.
she was killed me. Um, and I was literally just like driving on the left lane, which I never do anymore. After this incident, I will never drive on the left lane, which is like the fast lane on a highway. And I was going like maybe a little bit above the speed limit. And I hadn't noticed that cars all the way in the front were stopped. You know, when suddenly there's like, so I didn't stop. and I hit the car in front of me, and then my wheel flew off. And literally my car sunk to the ground and skidded all the way down the highway. I was like, and then, the whole car filled with smoke. The airbag deployed and smashed my face. Which, by the way, no one tells you this, but the airbags are covered in this material that burns.
Oh.
It burned my skin. But, and I remember like the first person I called was my sister, actually. Because I was like, I can't tell my parents. I don't want to freak out anyone here. So I literally was just like, what do I do? But yeah, that was fun.
That's crazy.
I hate driving. I hate driving. If I could not
I think
drive.
I'm a good driver, but I got distracted by a moth and hit a light post. But it was at night and there was not a lot of people.
Was it a pretty moth?
No, it was a regular like white moth. Like I was just trying to wave it out of the car, and then I forgot I was driving, and then. But it's like my excuse for that is like the activity. It was something. Like I think I'm a good driver where like, oh, I can like look at something and be like, bitch, you're driving, or like text and like know you're driving. But it wasn't an activity in my mind where like, oh, you should be driving. Like I was just fully like, I just switched it to let me get this moth out.
That's so funny. You were like, I am not behind the wheels right now.
But the airbag deployed, the car was smoking.
Oh shit.
There was like oil all over the road. The light literally fucking felt like I took the light out.
Oh shit, you really did run into it hard.
I hit the post. Yeah.
Shit.
Like, I don't know, maybe like 30 miles per hour.
Wait, when did this happen? What if it happened at the same time? As me.
When did this happen?
What if it was the same exact day?
It could have been, maybe. It was probably maybe before. I don't know. Time is such a fucking mess to me. I think maybe 2019.
Okay.
Wait, when did I fucking crash into the light post? Maybe 2021. Maybe 2022.
Okay, mine was 3 years ago. So
No, I don't think was 2022. Anyway, this is pointless.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but to go back to nostalgia, and like,
what are we nostalgic for? We just both have PTSD.
No, that's the thing. The thing that I was going to talk about was that I actually don't relate to nostalgia. Like, I don't get nostalgic. Like, even music, I will always prefer new music. Like, I like the sound of something that's new and interesting over something that's played out. And I feel like that's the opposite of so many people. A lot of people will gravitate towards things they already like because to them that's comfortable and avoid listening to new shit. Or even movies. Like, nothing. The only thing I can think of that I find nostalgic is like Studio Ghibli movies. But I think they're meant to create that feeling of nostalgia. Like that animated, like Spirited Away, and what's the other one? The big guy? Totoro. My neighbor.
Howie's Moving Castle? Oh, my neighbor Totoro.
But those movies, I get nostalgic just because I really like them and they remind me of like sad boy era of me, but nothing else.
For me, it's old school Little Kim.
Little Kim came before Nicki Minaj, right? Nicki Minaj usurped her throne.
I mean, I think it's the optics of it is more. I guess that's how people that is how the mainstream has classified that moment in history as. But with a feminist lens, you kind of see the misogyny in the way that it's like one person is on the throne and one person is dethroned. Meanwhile, in like any kind of, male or in men's hip hop, you have Kanye West, you have Jay-Z, you have all these big rappers all at once. But for some reason, for women, there can only be so many. I think it's weird.
It is weird, but isn't like Nicki Minaj, for example, playing into that she acts sometimes like there is only one. There can only be one.
Of course. I mean, everyone participates in patriarchy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
But that is what happened. I'm nostalgic for old school Little Kim though, because if you listen, she got a lot of plastic surgery. She has a lot of issues, and they've just gotten worse over the years.
Mm.
And I would just I like when she releases music, but I like when she releases music in her old school way. So it's my nostalgia. What am I nostalgic for anything else? What makes me nostalgic?
Mhm.
You're
Do
right.
do you rewatch TV shows that you watched a long time ago?
Rarely.
See, I'm the same. Like my sister, I think it's a mental illness actually. My sister will watch Friends, which is a horrible show, and she agrees it's a horrible show and very outdated and out of touch with reality and very problematic in the jokes that they make. For the time, it was okay, but she will, for her, having it playing in the background soothes her brain. And I think it's just because she's used to it and knows it. And so it's something she can expect. And I think it is anxious people like to do and watch or see things where they know how the ending is going to play out because then they don't have to be anxious about it. So I don't get that way. Like there's no show that I'm willing to watch again unless I'm watching it for the first time with someone else.
Yeah, with somebody else is the key.
Yeah.
Or if it was like really, really good, but like seldom things are that good. Like I didn't even want to watch Wicked for the second time. I thought about it and I was like, man, nah, fuck that. I'm nostalgic sometimes for like Palestinian stuff because I feel like there's the old part of my life when I had hair, no tattoos. I wasn't as queer and I was more involved. I was involved in family activities and that was my source for that kind of thing. So now when I come across it, it brings me back to those moments and I get nostalgic for some of it. Yeah, I get nostalgic for it. I mean, yeah, it's hard. I don't. Again, complex PTSD.
PTSD. That's what it is. We should title this episode's Complex
Complex
PTSD.
PTSD and nostalgia. Yeah.
But the thing is I feel the same way where I can remember moments in my life where it was so comfortable being a kid and oblivious, but there was always that seed deep down, knowing that we were different. Like knowing that we were gay and knowing that if anyone found out, this would like destroy everything. And I don't.
Such a weird concept to like exist with that is just so normalized in my mind. But then you have to pull yourself out of it and be like, whoa, this was all just constructed.
It was
Do you know
all,
what I mean?
yeah, it was all constructed, but also, can you imagine the burden of being like that's why I'm
Yes, I can. I lived it.
yeah,
Fucking, it's insane. But the thing is, it's like, it was so normalized for me. It's like, yeah, whatever. It just kind of like, that's just how that's how it was. And that's how my existence is now. You know what I mean? Like now that I live without my family, it wasn't a surprise when I was disowned because I was like, yeah, I mean, this is kind of what I knew was going to happen the whole time. So it's a different sense of process versus other people are like, oh my God, yeah, that's so fucked up. It took a minute for me to realize because it I was born into the expectation that this is what was gonna happen.
right, right. Like it was an inevitability almost. But
Yeah.
also like that is why I'm not nostalgic for that time. Like you're right, there are some parts of it where I'm like, it was nice, like feeling the full love and like or the quote unquote love of like fitting in. But do I want to fit in? And I know you agree with this that no, actually, I feel so much better now in my own skin doing whatever I want to do.
I mean, the way anything mainstream is usually to me.
Yeah.
And not in a hipster way. It's just like, I don't know, do people really want to go on a cruise ship? Or like, I don't know. Like when I mean, anytime I see like TikToks of like straight clubs promoting themselves and it's like a crowd jumping up and down to like apple bottom jeans or like something by the Black Eyed Peas.
Oh my God.
Or
Apparently,
and
Soulja Boy is huge in the white straight community.
I like and that's the thing. They get that their kind of nostalgia is pathetic, where it's
Yeah.
like,
It's like you guys
what do you mean?
crave when you were in high school and miss that time, which is crazy. Like that tells me that you peaked then and now you're downhill. Whereas I feel like our peak has yet to come. So for us, it feels like, why would I miss when I was less than? I'm a shark now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, exactly. I don't. Well, sometimes I do. I wish I was a little bit stupider, but I don't imagine what that would look like. I just wish my brain worked less.
Also,
But I'm
sorry,
not like,
is the
oh,
washing
my
machine
brain work.
loud?
No, I can't hear anything at
Okay,
all.
perfect, perfect. Sorry, you could repeat that thoughts.
No, it's just like I don't I don't want to become stupider so I can go in the club and dance to apple bottom jeans, but like I just don't want to suffer
Yeah,
currently.
yeah.
I feel like though I'm nostalgic for a specific, not even former lover. We only ever made out and we only ever went on one date and then we were like friends for years. But I'm gonna be moving to their vicinity near like some soon and we're gonna run into each other. And in my mind, I'm like, what if we like somehow end up in a romantic situation, which I know is not an inevitability. It probably won't happen at all, but like I kind of like the drama of like fantasizing about it. So sometimes I feel like in that way, my nostalgia is literally just like an insane asylum because I'm just like,
No, I do that too. I think everyone does that where honestly, like it's good that you recognize that it's a fantasy as opposed to some people who think it
but
is
it
a
could happen. Like part of me is like, it could happen. I'm gonna
That's true.
try. I
I'll
mean, I'm a different person from when this person last saw me, and I think I'm much more sexier. And
yeah.
there's compatibility.
Yeah. I feel like it is fun to do that. Like it is fun to hope and to like actually like project your desires onto someone. You might like
Yeah, I was gonna go for it because I have
yeah.
nothing to lose with this
Right.
person. They already hate my gut. So if I just like grab
Right.
them and be like, remember the good times. Like,
But even if they don't, I know that you're strong enough to tell yourself they whatever, it was a fantasy. Like,
yeah, I mean, this is just like a thought experiment.
yeah. Also
Or
like
it's like not even a thought experiment. Like I'm not gonna I need to like try though. Like it just needs to be something where I just like
right.
I need to get stuff off my chest.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, actually during my shitty week, I'm really like out of touch with my body and I mean like you're a crier, I'm not a crier, but I cried this week. And you know how I hate crying.
Yeah.
I actually like detest it. And I was on FaceTime with my friends crying, being like, "Oh my god, I fucking hate crying." He's like, "Do you want to come over?" I'm like, "Absolutely not." I'm staying here. But it did feel good, and I didn't even recognize that I needed to cry.
Whoa.
But then after it, like, happened, I was like, "Oh, I feel so much better."
Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, I feel like it's a necessary to like let the floodgates open a little, just so that you can
It's like
release.
throwing up.
Yeah, it's like psychic energy that has to come out. Also, I love that
Psychic energy.
I love that Halumi's head is the only thing in frame right now, and she's just like this.
She's being a slut for attention.
Yeah, she's just like she's very cute. Oh, you're
God, I'm being so chaotic. Are you nostalgic for any I guess, is this taboo to say because you have a boyfriend?
telling me.
Are you nostalgic for any former lovers?
No, I hate everyone else. Like honestly, I don't want to like be that bitch, but John is perfect. I'm very grateful. But am I nostalgic? I did go through a phase where I did the projecting thing where like I put my fantasies onto somebody, except I was delusional about it. I wasn't realistic like you, where I was like, this probably isn't gonna work out. Or it's probably like whatever happens, happens, who cares? No, I fully was like, I'm getting married to this man.
No, but give us details on the history of this man. Like, had you met this man? Were you friends for
I'll
years?
tell you how
Anything?
we met. We literally met at a club, made out, and that's it. They were Lebanese. I think it was the fact that
Oh,
I think it was the fact that
that's even crazier than mine. Mine, someone, it's like we, I knew for like years, and we like had traveled together.
that
We
makes
like
sense.
hung out for a long time.
That makes sense. So you know this person.
I know this person.
I
I know
literally,
there's compatibility.
yeah, I did not know this person. I didn't even know who they were. I
How
literally knew
old were
nothing.
you?
I was either like 19 or 20.
Oh, okay, that's understandable though. I feel like that's just canon for everyone.
Maybe, yeah, but honestly, looking back, I'm like, that's so pathetic of me. Like
No,
how,
but I did that too though. No, no, no. I think everyone when they're like 18, 19, first started dating. First of all, you believe all the sweet talkings guys tell you when they're flirting with you. And when you like make out and then you just believe people in the moment. That's all it is. You're just naive.
I think it was that, but it was also the fact that he showed me so much interest initially. And it was clearly like now looking back, it was just because he was looking for a hookup and that's it. But in my mind,
And you're naive.
yeah, I saw it as attention. And then we like exchanged numbers. At the time, I was like, oh, like I don't want to go home with you just because I'm here with friends. So then we like exchanged numbers thinking that, oh, like
You're an annoying type of gay guy.
I'm annoying. And then I thought about it.
Leave my friends. My friends will get mad at me.
Yeah, literally. So so I literally like in my head, he occupied my brain for so long. And I didn't even know this person. I didn't know them. So I projected all my hopes and dreams, picturing what our dates would look like, what our children would look like, blah, 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 what we would do, where we would go, where we would live. I was insane.
But when you're new to getting attention in a romantic way, you don't understand that people do that just to fuck and that they actually just wanted to fuck. Like it's a learning curve. I think everyone has to learn that.
I think it's
And
also
it's not
because
all the time because I had a whole conversation with a little Olive about this, about hookup culture on a different podcast. We'll fully flesh out this topic.
yes.
But yeah, like guys are horny and they will act like you're the only girl in the world to try to fucking do whatever they want to do with you.
And I think it's especially difficult for young gays, especially from our background, because we grew up with no validation. Like we grew up.
Yeah, we want someone to save us, low-key.
Exactly. We want someone to tell us you're the best thing ever. Like as in we want the validation. We want to feel validated. So when somebody gives us a little validation, but then pulls back, we start chasing after it because we're like, oh my God, no, no, no. I need to like vie for his attention or whatever, because it almost becomes like a surrogate for your parents' validation. Saha. Khalil is clanging. But yeah, basically, the validation of a stranger becomes a surrogate for a validation of your parents. I tried to repeat that. Yeah.
I think so. I mean, kind of like how you have John as Baba on your phone, right? It's kind of very telling.
Yeah.
But I think that comes, okay. See, my co-star said something kind of real the other day. And actually, it kind of really encompasses how I feel. It said, wait, I hope it's still here. Fuck, did I screenshot it? I'm going to kill myself if I didn't screenshot it. Okay. It said, you need one person to be dominant, but you don't know if it's you.
That is so good.
And I was like, damn, co-star.
That is so good. Wow.
And I always think about that. I'm like, I don't know if I want, because I do attract men who seek a lot of validation. Like they just like find me and they're very simpy. But I'm like, no, I don't want that. But I think if I attracted someone like me, it'd be like really challenging and explosive. So maybe I don't know. But anyway, that is very accurate for me.
I feel like, yeah, I can see why.
Are you on co-star?
I am compatible with moods and emotions, love and pleasure, sense of responsibility, not compatible in basic identities, intellect and communication, philosophies of life. I kind of agree with the communication parts. I feel like we do different things to communicate.
I think I agree with this for the most part. It makes sense.
Yeah. Well, this is very extensive.
We do poorly communicate with each other.
I feel like it's a learning curve, but we have different communication styles.
Yeah. I'm just saying that I think our communication is poor.
It's not poor. We communicate fine. I think.
Okay. How are you gonna tell me what I think? I was just like, I don't know.
Fair, fair.
I think we make it work.
We do.
I don't think it's great.
Fair, fair. Nostalgia. What else should we cover about nostalgia?
Oh,
Some nostalgic about certain foods. Like there are certain foods that when I eat back home, I just miss. Like for example, KDD chocolate milk. KDD is a brand of Kuwaiti produced like boxed drinks. And I will literally ship chocolate milk. And the thing is, it's a phenomenon. I'm not the only one that does this. Everyone who grew up in Kuwait seeks that chocolate milk. And I think it's just a universal, like, makes us think like Kuwait.
well, there's like I don't know. I think chocolate milk in general is a nostalgic drink because I think it's like universally if you went to a semi-okay public school, meaning like a public school with refrigeration accessible,
Yeah.
you were probably drinking milk as a child.
Yeah, right, right. I'm actually gonna send you a picture of the
I think I'm also nostalgic for chocolate milk, but I grew up in Canada, so it's just like everything that is I like in terms of food. I guess I'm nostalgic from my parents' food at their restaurant.
Ah,
Yeah, the thing is, it's like, do you ever outgrow things that you're nostalgic for? There was a point in time where I liked sippy cups. I was nostalgic for those. Something about a sippy cup is actually kind of cunty.
what's the sippy cup?
It's like cups they give to toddlers where it has a cap on the top with a little.
That's what I
Honestly,
thought.
I could
But
drink
I
out
was
of a
like, I needed
bottle
to make sure
with
you.
with a nipple. I actually I like suckling.
Then those bottles exist.
I'm nostalgic for suckling.
Water
For
bottles.
adults?
Water bottle. Yeah, so there are those water bottles with the spout where you go.
No, but I like when it's controlled. I don't like it's like I don't need a lot. Like for babies, the sippy cups, it will only allow so much through so your baby doesn't choke.
Ah, interesting. That's fascinating.
Like imagine like sucking milk out of a nipple.
Wow. And you were nostalgic for that.
I don't remember what it's like to do that, but
So
I like that sensation of like hitting a vape where it's like you suck, but you don't get. I don't fucking suck all the vape juice at once. Like there's resistance.
right. I'm curious, till when did you use sippy cups? How old were you?
I don't know, but then I remember like randomly when I was like 14 or 15, I just started using them again, and my mom was like, "The fuck, stop using this." And I was like, "But
I'm with
why?" I
your
was like,
mom.
"Why not?"
I'm with your mom on that one.
But like it's just like cup to it was just nice. I'd put iced tea in it, and then that way I don't guzzle. Like honestly, in a way, it's like you have a dog and you give them a slow feeder so they don't eat as fast.
Yeah,
For me, because it's like I will just guzzle my drink down.
I'm the
It
same.
made complete sense to me. I felt more comfortable doing it, and it like helped me drink less.
You know what? I'm not gonna sippy cup shame. If that was fun and enjoyable for you and helped you regulate, I think
But what is there to shame about it? What's shameful
I
about
think
it? Try to shame it.
the shameful thing is that it's meant to be for toddlers and babies.
You
And
call your boyfriend Baba, you freak.
I call him Baba as a joke.
But all I do
I
is
don't
drink
actually
out of
I don't actually call him Baba. He's saved in my phone as Baba, and it's like ha ha ha. But
but drinking out of a different cup is like too far.
no, I think it's fine. I'm just saying its intended use is for babies. But who's to say what's intended? It's kind of like using those like, you know, those plastic it's like
Our buttholes are intended for poop, but
that's
we use them for other things.
true, which we should be shamed.
We are gay.
We are shapes. No, I was gonna say something about that. But that's so interesting. I feel like is there something from my like I guess the chocolate milk, but I didn't use the I used to be a big mama's boy. And I feel like the privilege of being able to hide behind your mom is nice, but I don't obviously do that anymore. Sometimes I do wish I had a metaphorical mother to just hide behind and not deal with any of my problems, but we're in the adult
I
world.
can't even imagine that reality. I literally like I don't even wish for but my personality type is I don't trust other people to do anything, so I like being hands-on.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't picture.
But it would be nice if there was someone who I like trust, like a trusted adult to like get something done properly. That would be really nice. I think it would be very relaxing.
Yes.
That's why I love the idea of like, and my favorite part when I was in Colombia was when I was at like it wasn't an all-inclusive resort, but it was like a hotel hostel on the beach where I had my own room and the front door was like right at the beach. And then you could just like, they had a bar slash restaurant and everything was so cheap and you just paid a tab all at the end at once. It was just so nice
That is
to like
nice.
have everything like done for you and you're right at the beach.
Yeah.
So
No.
in a way that was like a metaphorical parent.
Right. They were like already preparing everything for you. All you had to do was just ask or take it. Yeah, that's
Yes.
nice. That's nice. Yeah, I pray that for you, inshallah. One day you find somebody who can be that responsible adult. I feel like it's nice to have that. But it's nice to take a break every now and then. Like to alternate, you know, like you don't have to do it all the time. You don't have to be the adult all the time.
Yeah, I'm coming for my man and coming for your ass.
You better
I have to
get
bleep all that. But I think it's funny, honestly. Something about censor bleeps make me laugh.
No, they are funny, especially when it's done. Uh, like when somebody's like cussing someone out, and it's just like,
And it's just a long one.
yeah, or yeah, and it's just their mouth.
And then you don't even have to be saying anything that's like that, like that's not even eating that hard. But if you just put a censor beep, you're like, oh, they got their ass good.
Yeah,
They ate them up. They ate them up.
exactly.
When John is like feeling nostalgic, do you empathize with him? Are you like jealous, or do you feel like
I am jealous.
get over it?
No,
You're
I've told him this before. I've told him, I'm like, when you get sentimental about your childhood, it kind of like makes, and I this isn't me saying please stop being sentimental about your childhood. I'm very happy for him, and I love that he misses that era. But I just remind him thoughtfully, like, hey, by the way, like when you like, for example, he sometimes will think about his parents aging, and that like distresses him. Whereas I tell him like, wow, that
I'm plotting mine deaths.
exactly. I'm like, it's so funny that you say this because like I feel like, damn, am I broken? Like, should I be wishing that too? You know, like is it that for me it's the other way around.
No, you're just different.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know. But it's just I guess I wish I had that kind of relationship or feeling towards them where I would want to keep them safe forever if they just like,
Yeah.
you know?
No, I'm with you. The thing is, I don't necessarily know if I feel jealous of people who have better relationships with their parents. I think I've accepted mine's just different because I also know people who have some fucked up relationships with their parents. Like,
That's true.
there is like positive relationships, and then there's like where I am kind of at no relationship. But what I don't want is like what my dad has or what some of my friends have, where it's like my dad, his parents took so much money from him. They took so much like emotional labor. Like I'd say they were like semi-parasitic.
Yeah.
And like I'm sure you know examples of parents who are like that, where they're just like are their kid and it's like fuck, they like suck them dry.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it could definitely be worse. I'm not saying that. I agree. I just think it's always like it's heartwarming at the same time. It makes me feel wistful. That's the word. When I see John like miss his childhood, I'm like, oh, that's very sweet. Like I wish I had that. Like I wish I felt that way too about certain things. But again, just like you said,
Jealousy is poison.
yeah, just like you said, we don't always like everything is different. Everyone has their own like struggles and shit that they deal with.
You know, your complex I'm sure, does John have no, now this is a podcast on John, but does he have no, like, I feel like everyone has their trauma arc. They have to have something.
Not to speak on his behalf, but I'm sure everyone has their thing. You know, I'm not gonna speak for
But he
him.
does, you can confirm that he does for sure.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I know what my childhood bestie, his parents are so fucking, they're both amazing people. He was just like the star basketball player all throughout fucking from middle school to university. Like, he didn't peak after high school. Like, now he has a fucking computer science degree, an amazing girlfriend who is also in med school. Like,
Wow.
he's just killing it and I don't think he's never had a real problem in his life.
Wait, do you know them personally?
Yeah, I know them both. Like, I mean, he was my childhood best friend.
Cute. That's
I
so
mean, now I'm curious. I haven't spoken to him.
yeah.
We haven't had a good conversation in like 2 years, but I wouldn't be surprised if all the updates were just perfect.
That's honestly wholesome. Like, it's some people really do be living like that.
But
They
that's
want-
not John.
No, I don't think so. I mean, just being gay alone, I feel like,
It's not that traumatic.
yeah, fair. I don't think it's
The
very
thing is, white gay guys have this thing where they're like, their biggest demon was themselves. And it's like, girl, shut the fuck up. Like, who cares that you like dick in your ass? Like, I've gotten past that part. I've tried to
yeah.
figure out how to just like survive.
Right. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, maybe we should get John to answer that question. I feel like he would be better suited to answering it. But I think we all have our traumas
I feel like as a Palestinian podcast, though, you need to speak on behalf of your white person,
on behalf of
you
him.
know,
I think,
because that's your white person. So I'm not asking for specific details, but like, do you give him a card to speak on complex trauma, or do you think he needs to sit the fuck down? Complex
oh,
PTSD. Like, do you know what I mean? Where it's like, do
oh,
you
I
have
see
the
what
right
you're
to speak
saying.
on this?
I see what you're
Yeah.
saying.
See, our communication style is
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I think um John is a very, very supportive person. I don't think he fully has experienced what I've experienced. Like, to answer your question, like
Keep it vague.
yeah, but I do think he is like in the way that kind of similarly to his like support of Palestine, he's very much the right type of support where it's like they don't take up space, they're listening,
Yeah.
and they are like doing what you're telling them to do in terms of what is the right way to support. You know what I mean? Like, he's not taking it upon himself to just like put his white lens on something and say,
He's just his play. But the thing
yeah,
is, there was this British guy at one point I was involved with, and I feel like I had some kind of mutual respect with him because he didn't have the same similar thing happen to him, but he did have his like mom die when he was like 12 of like some horrible illness. So in terms of like the trauma of like that, I was like, okay, I can have a conversation. Like, I can respect what you're saying.
so can you only like feel like you can have a meaningful conversation with someone if you feel like their trauma can somehow is on par with your trauma? Or do you feel like,
Yeah, I think lived experience is important. In terms of like, depending on the type of, like, if you're gonna give me advice, I don't want to hear advice from some bitch that has lived happy go lucky, hand to mouth all the time. Like, I don't really need to hear what you have to say.
right, right, like, for example, in terms of like my coming out or my like process of dealing with like John and I living together and like what the future is going to look like, he's never given what he thinks should happen. He's always fully like waited to hear what I am experiencing and telling him what I think will happen, and him just like supportively suggesting things or like talking through it, but never saying, this is what we have to do. You know what I mean? Like, he's not, I know that there are some people who unfortunately have partners who are like, you should come out to your parents. Like, what's the big deal? You know what I mean? Like, because they didn't have a hard experience with it. So in their mind, they're like, I don't get it. He's never done that, which I think is a big deal. But yeah, so I agree with you. I think there is a type of lived experience that is necessary to be there for you to be able to give advice, like hard advice where you're like, you should do this or you should do
Yeah,
that.
see, the thing is, I don't know. I feel like it'd be really triggering for me to date somebody in your position, which is kind of shitty to say because I didn't like when I was not out to my parents and like still out. It was kind of annoying to hear, but it is, I don't know. It's like, especially I feel like if you had a lot to overcome in terms of coming out to your parents. I don't know. For me, I just think it would be a really triggering situation all the time to like deal with someone navigating that.
It's not easy. It's definitely
No,
not easy.
it's definitely not easy.
Kudos to John.
No, I wasn't. I don't know. Not kudos to John. I think for me specifically, it would be triggering because of my. I don't know what John's coming out was like. Was he embraced? Was he not embraced? But first,
coming out.
exact. Okay, so John is this metaphorical white man named John Doe.
Yeah.
All the John Does out there who had a Love Simon type fucking coming out experience, like
Love
shut up
Simon.
forever.
That movie.
But that's what I mean. That movie was made for your boyfriend.
Yeah. It was made for people who just had a. I mean, it's the hope.
Not just.
It's the hope of the future, like a hope where I guess people come out like that, where it's like not a big deal. But
I don't think it was a hope. Like I don't think it was supposed to be a hopeful film. I think it was
so. I think it was meant to be like this is the new era of like coming out where it's like not a big deal.
But in that moment, I was still in the closet / out to my friends, and it was not like that at all. So it just felt to me, it felt insulting. I remember, I literally, oh my god, I literally snuck. This was back in the day when I still lived in like a basement at my parents' house. I snuck out, climbed out of the window by like 10 o'clock to go watch that movie with my friends, and then I think after we went to a strip club.
Nice.
But I thought it was really nice and supportive of my friends to take me to see that movie.
I mean, it's cute. I do see how it can be insulting. I felt insulted because I'm like, this wasn't my experience and it wasn't this easy. But I think that the point is that it's hope for not us, but for the future.
I was currently going through it though. My parents didn't know I was gay. I was like, oh my god, they're gonna kill me. So it wasn't even like, oh, how can I be hopeful for the future when I was like fucking 17,
Right,
or
right,
18, or however old it was. Was coming out.
Damn, it was that old?
When did it come out? Maybe it was 2019. Well, yeah.
Yeah, Khalil is 4 years younger than me. It's just
Love Simon release date 2018. So I was 18, 19.
Wow, 2018. I was like finishing up school. Close. Damn, I am much older than you.
It's only 4 years, but 4 years is 1 degree. Like,
Yeah.
There's like 1 whole degree of separation between us.
Yeah. Like when I was finishing high school, you were starting high school.
Yes.
That's wild. It's funny how like back then 4 years apart is like such a big deal, but now it feels like not that big of a deal.
Now we're like both getting new apartments and cars at the same time.
Yeah. We're in the
I was gonna ask, what kind of car are you hoping to get?
highly recommend. Like the car that I used to have is what I'm gonna get, a Honda CRV. That shit is reliable.
And they're affordable.
They're affordable, reliable.
They're kind of big too.
And it's nice because once you're done with it, it's easy to sell.
Maybe I'll get a Honda CRV. I was thinking because I'm like, oh, I kind of want something that I could fit furniture into because I want to buy used furniture. So I'm like, it'd be nice. It seems a little indulgent as like schooling and getting an SUV.
Yeah.
But I might do it. I don't know.
Do it. I mean, do it if the means are there. You should do whatever makes most sense to you.
I mean, well, like, okay, I don't know. The thing is, it's like, what's a difference between like, $75 to $100 a month? Like, I feel like when you break it down, depending on the type of car, if it's used, new, like, the market's not great anyway. So it's just gonna be an indulgent moment.
I wonder if it's gonna be better in Canada than America, even with the like. I hate that I'm about to mention this. The tariffs.
The tariffs are fucking up everyone's lives.
But not as much. Like I feel like it's gonna fuck up American lives, not so much Canadian ones. Like I feel like cars are
everything we sell. Everything we sell goes to you guys.
Right. So it's gonna,
But I guess it's not gonna really affect me because any money I make doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I don't know, not my problem. It's just honestly, in terms of everything that's happening in the world, I feel so not like nihilistic. I'm so powerless at this point. Like the podcast is the best I have to offer.
I agree.
This is it.
I agree. For me, it's like podcasting and DJing are my two forms of like just doing whatever I want to do. You know, like it's totally me. Everything else I feel like has a tint of is what tarnished, not tarnished.
Why would Zencaster be owned by some like crazy fucking weapons manufacturer or some stupid shit like somehow?
Yeah, actually that's true.
Or like Spotify or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, we're at an hour.
We're all going to hell anyway. Okay, so our question for you guys, all of people, if you were moving to a new city, what car would you buy? Leave that in the comments. And also, what are you nostalgic about?
What a crazy question.
And also, what are you nostalgic about, to keep it in topic? But truly, also give us advice on cars. Okay, love you guys. See you next week. Bye.
Bye. Let's give it like a couple seconds for the outro music. So nice to be back on stable Wi-Fi.